You may not have heard of the Brighton Buccaneers, but they are to baseball in this country what Manchester United are to football. They've won just about every domestic honour in the game, and yesterday they were victorious in their first home game of the season, beating Hounslow 11-0. And Mike Bushell was there.
Nick Carter's going to lead it off from the mound. Dave Donaldson is at third base, batting sixth.
There's far more to baseball than hit and run. This man hasn't got fleas, but he has got a rather cunning plan to get his players to last base.
It's one of those games where once you understand it and once you've played it for a while, you'll just love it. A lot of people have compared it to the ballet, you know, it's just a great sport.
In this country, the closest most of us ever get to baseball is the traditional baseball cap. But if you're looking for a sport in which the South dominates, this is it, and Brighton is the place to be. The Brighton Buccaneers are the Manchester United of British baseball. They're the reigning champions, they've got the best facilities and attract the top players. One's even prepared to fly down from Scotland every week.
I used to play baseball in America and always wanted the high level of standards, so just travel down here to play for a good team, good field, best field in the country.
The only problem for Brighton is the lack of decent competition in this country. The game is still way down the list when it comes to school sports.
I went to high school for 2 years in America, and I played 4 hours a day, every day, 6 days a week actually. And you can't help but just get really good at baseball.
In the land of football and cricket, it's unlikely that baseball will ever take off as it has done in the States. But that won't worry Brighton as long as they're winning their league. Next on their agenda is the European Cup next month. Mike Bushell, BBC South Today.
Well, we're going to move continent now because if you've been watching MLB 99, you'll know that the Great Britain baseball team are actually in Italy at this very moment in the European Championships. And of course, the importance of that is their aim is to finish in the top 2 in the European Championship, and that will book their place in the 2000 Olympics. Obviously, really important. Well, MLB's Chris Luke caught up with the team before they left as our boys from Blighty get set to put British baseball firmly on the map.
My name is Gavin Marshall and I'm a pitcher on the Great Britain national team.
I'm Alex Malihudis, I play centre field.
My name's Nick Carter and I pitch a little bit and also play the outfield.
My name's Gary Roberts, I'm the head coach of the Great Britain national team.
I was born in Hull, England.
I was born in Pembury, Kent.
I grew up in Tunbridge.
Who was it? I'll have his guts spaghetti. I played rugby.
I never even liked sports, really.
I did actually play a lot of football. I also played cricket for my school team.
You're not supposed to keep filming it, damn you. I started playing baseball mainly because my dad played and my granddad played. So for me, it was just a family tradition.
My mum got me into baseball. She saw a game when she went out to America, and I just picked it up straight away. I loved it.
There's actually a youth team in my town in Tunbridge, and I was walking home from school, and I saw the team working out, and they just asked me if I could join in. And just all went from there, snowballed.
I used to watch Nolan Ryan a lot. He was the main guy, got all of his bugs.
Robbie Thompson was always a favourite of mine. He used to play for the San Francisco Giants, and he was a scrapper. Like, he'd go out there and someone would throw at him, he'd take a pitch for the team. You know, he'd dive all around the place getting dirty. You know, he's the kind of ball player I'd like to be.
British baseball is growing, and guys like Gavin, Alex and Nick are leading the way. But to get this good, you still need to go to America.
The reason I went to America was because at the time the British coaches could only take you so far, and I got to that point, and I wanted to go and see how far I could really go.
When I went out there, I went out on a baseball trip with Gavin about 1995, and I saw this high school, and I fell in love with it. I was like, I really want to go here, and I talked to the coach, and I hooked it up that way.
I went to school out there myself for a year.
They need to be playing every day, and I think this is why we have a certain number of guys over here that do go to school, if they can, in the States, and get that chance to play every day.
But if you want to get really good, you've got to go. I mean, there's only so far you can go in here, and you get to a peak and you don't get any better. If you want to get really good, you've got to go and work hard and go to America.
So what's up with the funding and facilities in the UK, and how does it compare with other European countries?
We're not probably the worst in Europe, but we're one of the worst. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there who are a lot worse off than we are, but our funding and stuff is so limited. It does, kind of does affect us on the field. We got our funding cut a little bit this year, and it hurt us a lot.
We've got as much talent as a lot of teams in Europe, as Germany, for instance, as France, Belgium. But we go over there, and Germany has beautiful baseball fields. They have, they have a lot of kids involved because they can afford it. They can afford to put up a big stadium and have it on, maybe have a few games on the news, whatever. Have highlights on the news, things like that to promote it.
With regards to facilities, there's very few good diamonds in the country, and equipment hard to get hold of. But facilities really is what we need to improve on.
The British team is in Italy right now for the European Baseball Championships. If they make the final, they'll have qualified for the Sydney Olympics. The semis will be good enough for the World Championships. Either way, it's all new territory for them.
Never experienced anything like it, even in America. I'm probably never played in an atmosphere like that. I'm really excited, it's going to be great.
The first game, it's in Italy and we're playing against Italy, and I imagine there's probably going to be about 15,000 people at the first game cheering Italy on, so it's going to be tough. But we're going to rise to the occasion. We're looking forward to it.
Brilliant stuff.
Last Sunday afternoon saw the best of British baseball come together when the Brighton Buccaneers and the Windsor Bears met in the British Baseball Championship final. The scenic location at Pavilion Field in Brighton saw baseball fans gather from far and wide, and there was no doubt who the majority were cheering for.
We're supporting Brighton today.
Brighton! Brighton Buccaneers. Yeah, I don't think Windsor. I don't think they stand a chance.
And they weren't wrong. After 2 innings, they led the Windsor Bears by 8-0, and from then on in, there was no stopping them. Johnny and Mike enjoyed themselves, but the real stars of the show were Bucks pitcher Nick Carter and third baseman Dave Donaldson.
David comes down from Scotland every fortnight to play for Brighton, and he's playing very well at the moment, hitting the ball very, very well.
Hi, I'm Nick Carter's sister, Becky. I just like to say he is excellent. I love him to bits.
Despite a gallant effort from Windsor, Brighton went into the bottom of the 7th with a 12-run lead, sufficient enough to take the game on the mercy rule, and here's the play that clinched it.
Fouls out to the catcher, and that ends the game. The final score: the Windsor Bears 4, the Brighton Buccaneers are the British champions with 16 runs.
So a great win for the Bucks, and a great day out for all the spectators.
It's a good game to watch. And it's been a good day.
And Johnny enjoyed getting his hands on the trophy, if only for a few moments.